We have, I think, one more, Mr. William Doc Walls. Mr. Walls?
Yes.
Oh, there you are. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad to be here before this auspicious board. I'm concerned about the issue of votes cast versus votes counted. I'm a write-in candidate for city clerk, and I believe that this board will declare today that Anna Valencia is elected city clerk. However, the law is extremely clear, both the Illinois Revised Cities and Villages Act as well as the election code. They're consistent, and they state that a candidate must receive the majority of the votes cast to be elected to office. And if that candidate fails to get a majority of votes cast, this board has to hold a runoff election. In this instance, it is our best belief, based upon the information that we've seen, and I've been down here every day, including the weekends, for the last 5 or 6 months, watching the process very, very carefully. I've been at the counting of the provisional ballots, the vote by mail ballots, the write-in ballots, the ballots in general, and the entire process. And it is my best belief that Anna Valencia does not have a majority of the votes cast for the office of city clerk of the city of Chicago. Unfortunately, the website shows that Anna Valencia has 100% of the votes cast. That, in fact, is not the case, because Patricia Horton and Betty Ibarra, who were both removed by the court, received votes. I received votes, and it's my estimation that another candidate also received write-in votes. There should be truth in publication, such that we have a true percentage of the vote cast that that candidate received, irrespective of whether or not some votes are suppressed. Now, I'm not asking that those suppressed votes be attributed to any particular candidate, but there should be truth and reflection. It should show what percentage of the vote a candidate got. Equal protection and First Amendment rights require that. So I would like to bring that to the board's attention. Additionally, in terms of the race itself, I believe that the board is probably going to rule based upon the Delgado case, which was a Illinois Supreme Court case. And in that case, the court was very, very specific. The court ruled that no votes cast for Medrano should be used to affect the outcome of that election. And that is a very specific court ruling. And we all understand that the specific overrides the general. However, in this case, the board, neither the board nor the court ruled that the votes cast for Patricia Horton or Betty Ibarra should be used to affect the outcome of the election, which is quite different. The specific was that they should not be used in the Medrano case. That is not the requirement here. Here, the requirement is only that those votes should be suppressed and should not be attributed to those particular candidates. So I'd like for the board to at least consider the impact that that has on the Illinois Revised Cities and Villages Act and the election code, because if, in fact, the election code and the Illinois Revised Cities and Villages Act is allowed to run its natural course, then this board would order a runoff election. We're in court now with you. We were there on Monday. We will be back next Monday. And our intention is to force a runoff in this instance, consistent with the requirements of the law. I've got much greater confidence in this board than I've had in any board that I've been involved with over the last 34 years. You demonstrated in the case of Neil Sales Griffin that you are no nonsense and that you will hold people to the letter of the law. So I'm simply appealing to you to do the exact same thing in this instance. And that's important because the people of the city of Chicago deserve transparency, and they deserve to have confidence in their vote. They need to know that if they cast a vote against Anna Valencia, be it for Mickey Mouse or none of the above, or a fictional character, or for themselves, or another ineligible candidate, that vote was at least received and processed. As it stands now, when a person who cast a vote for someone other than Anna Valencia looks at the report of the Board of Elections, then they get the impression that their vote went nowhere. First Amendment says that you have the freedom of expression. And if you express yourself through your vote, you have the right to know that that had impact. And that's just not happening in this instance. So, again, I would appeal to you to please publish the true percentage of votes that an individual received. Because in this instance, I'm handicapped. I'm going into court, and even though we have an honest belief, and the court says that you can have a belief, that you're not required to know what votes were miscounted or what the actual count was. The court is clear on that. But I shouldn't be in that position because other candidates know what the percentages were in those other elections. So I think that equal protection requires that you do that.
Mr. Mister, would you like to
Yeah, so first of all, Mr. Walls, what you haven't seen yet, because it was one of the last things we finished last night, is the official proclamation documents tonight, for today, this morning, now do include write-in votes. So it's showing Anna Valencia with 99.85% of the vote, no longer 100%. That's what the board is officially going to be proclaiming today.
And that's fine, but I'm not just speaking of write-in votes.
I understand.
I'm speaking also of
Right.
votes cast in total.
And so the law here actually is quite clear. The Revised Cities and Villages Act, which also expressly incorporates the election code, so anything that's not different or not explained in the Revised Cities and Villages Act expressly incorporates the election code. Cities and Villages Act says that we make the percentage based on votes cast. Mr. Walls is suggesting that we make the calculation based on ballots cast. The term votes cast is a term of art in the election industry and in law. So is the term ballots cast. The election code has 60 examples of the term votes cast and 97 examples of the term ballots cast. And those terms are always used consistently, and they're always used to mean two different things. Okay, so the law says that we are supposed to use votes cast. Votes cast, whether it's from the Delgado case or the assessor's case from last time, every case has been consistent that the only votes that get counted are the valid votes for eligible candidates. The law expressly prohibits us from counting votes for Mickey Mouse unless Mickey Mouse timely filed a declaration of intent to be a write-in candidate. And the entire structure in pari materia, as we look at all of these statutes together, it's abundantly clear that the term votes cast refers to eligible votes for qualified candidates or referendum.
No, in fact, what the law holds is that there is no difference between votes cast and ballots cast because, for example, when a person appears at the polling place, they request the right to vote. They're certified to vote. They're given either a paper ballot or they're given a card by which they can now make the selections that they choose in the voting process. And the very last thing that a person is required to do when after they've made their selections is hit the button that says cast vote. So at that point, a vote is cast by the voter, irrespective of whether or not that vote was cast for a fictitious character, an ineligible candidate, a candidate of their choice. They cast their vote. Once a vote is cast, it can't be uncast. At that point, it is the responsibility of this Board of Elections to process that vote, tabulate that vote, and eliminate those ineligible votes. But that is a counting process. That's different, and you did use the term count. That's different than determining how many votes were cast. The number of votes that are cast for a particular office. I'm not saying total votes cast in the city. The number of votes cast does not change irrespective of whether or not some of those votes are not counted.
We will, I believe this is like oral argument that you will have before the court, and I'll be very interested to see what the court decides. At this point, it's out of our hands, but I do appreciate you coming and guiding us with this background and explanation. Thank you, Mr.
Sure.
Walls.
Thank